first thing I do is I've already dumped in my charcoal, and I went ahead and put the lid back on. I'm going to turn on the vacuum and let the vacuum heat up charcoal for a few seconds, and then I'll start the oil burner. And once the oil burner gets going, you'll hear immediately the sound will immediately get louder, and when it goes rich, the flames will come out of this exhaust port about this high, but then I'll turn it back lean so you get a nice smooth clean burn. So let me go ahead and I'll start the oil. It'll take a minute or so, a few seconds for the the oil to flow down that black line and be able to start to mix and preheat. But you'll hear the difference in the tone of the furnace once the oil starts hitting. See, immediately right there, the oil is going. So we're starting to get the oil coming out of that port, and you can see now the flames coming out the lid. It's coming out a little rich. So and you can also see the black smoke. So I'm gonna turn it down a little bit, turn down the oil flow. So this is really, it comes out black a little bit at the beginning until it preheats. But once it preheats, it really should clean up quite a bit. So I'm gonna turn it down a little bit more. And I find that the charcoal inside allows you to run a lot less oil and get a nice clean burn. You can see it's coming out pretty good right now, but we're gonna give it a few minutes. Once it cleans up, I'll lift the camera up over the exhaust port and I'll show you what it looks like inside. But it basically looks like swirling fire. Let me go ahead and turn down the oil a little bit more. A lot of that smoke too could be I just painted it, so there could be some paint coming off. But right now it's not running, it's running way too rich. What I could do is turn up the volume of air. So you can hear it just got louder. But now we got more air going inside. So it should help clean up the smoke. But it does look like we're getting some off-gassing from the paints and different materials, so that's why there's so much smoke too. But once it gets up to temperature, that fire will die down and you won't even be able to see the flames coming out the top anymore. You can see this coming out the side. It's still off-gassing from the waters drying it out. So that's really why I haven't melted any metal in it yet. I'm still trying to get it to get all cleaned up. Let me see if I can bring you around over here so you can see the preheater and how that works. I don't know if you can see there. Let me zoom in. Down in there, you can see the preheater hitting the baffling in the back, and it gets pulled inside to preheat the oil. I take you and show you on top, but it's basically a swirling. I don't want to melt my camera. In just a few minutes, I'll go ahead and turn the blower off, and I'll show you what it looks like inside. Now, let me go ahead and turn down the oil a little bit more to see if I can get there we go. So now we're starting to get closer to a stoichiometric burn. You can see the flames are just barely exiting the top of the throat, and then as it cleans up, you'll see that it really nicely, there's not much soot coming out anymore, and it's real hot in there. You give it a few minutes to heat up, it gets white hot. And the outside is still cool to the touch, but in a few more minutes the heat will penetrate through, and boy does it get hot. So I never open the lid when the blower's going, and that's just mainly for safety so you don't get your head over it. But in a few minutes I'll go ahead and turn the blower off, and I'll open up the lid and I'll show you the inside. All right, so that's how you start the oil furnace, and that's basically how it runs once it's up to temperature and a lot of the off gases. You can see it's a nice clean burn. Let me bring you over, show you inside there. You got a nice hot flame, and you can even see the crucible down far in there. So that's what we got. So this is John Feddock for Power Yourself, signing off.